haunting beauties out there. This is Sandra Foley with At the Haunted Campers. We are right now in Quartzsite, Arizona at La Posa South. We've been here for maybe 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks, staying till the 20th. So I wanted to tell you about this, I call it Kismet, but my husband Anthony has been following this YouTuber, Travels with Dottie, and there's Dottie. And it so happens we pull up and my husband sees these flags in the video and he's right next to us. It's like, it's pretty funny. It's you know, things are meant to be, I believe. So I wanted to get a quick interview with him because my husband's been following him, been listening to his advice. So we're gonna give him a quick interview with Dottie. How are you?
I'm good.
And his name is Rob, right?
That's right.
At Travels with Dottie. Are you just on YouTube or do you have Instagram?
I have Instagram and Facebook. Robert Gebhard Wakely is what I'm on.
Wakely.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll put that in the links. But this is sponsored by my magazine, Fashion Haunts Magazine. We are also promoting the magazine along our tour. But we just wanted to pick his brain a little bit. He gives really good advice on YouTube. He has amazing followers. So tell us, of course, how long have you been doing this? The RVing and the YouTube.
Okay, so the RVing, I bought just on a whim. I ended up buying a travel trailer. I think it was 2014 or
okay.
so.
Mm-hmm.
And I was still working full time. And but then I retired in December 2021.
Okay.
And that's when I really started full time.
Okay.
And those years before that, I didn't camp that much.
Mm-hmm.
But when I started full time, no home base. I just headed out here.
This seems to be the place where a lot of people head out when they want to get the best scenic route and all that.
Well, Quartzsite's sort of a mecca for RVers.
Yes, I see that.
And full timers in the winter every year.
In the winter, yeah. And you're here from what months?
November until probably late March, early April.
And that's when it gets really hot.
Mm-hmm.
It gets really hot here. But the heat is different than New Jersey. Totally different. New Jersey is like muggy and you know, here it's like
very dry.
It's hot when you're in the sun and then all of a sudden it's cooler in the shade here, which I love. So what prompted you? What prompted you to do this?
You know, I was in my late 50s and
mm-hmm.
wondering about what am I going to do when I retire? I didn't have a clue, and I stumbled across YouTube channels of people that were doing this nomadic life, and I got hooked. I got hooked on it.
Yeah.
And the more I researched it, the more I thought this is going to be my retirement. I think I can really do this. And my test was, I decided in the last 2 or 3 years of my full-time working, I moved into an RV to make sure that I'd be comfortable in an RV space full-time before I pulled that trigger. And it turns out I moved from, I was outside Washington, D.C. in Fairfax County, Fairfax, Virginia. And I was in a real swanky, high-rise apartment building. And I ended up liking the RV more.
Yeah, that's what we did. We lived in our RV for 3 months before we left. And I thought it was so cozy. I decorated it for Christmas. Yeah. It was amazing. What's your favorite things about an RV life?
Well, number one are the people, the relationships that I have. You see people around here, people I've been camping with for years. And just the nomad community. But the unexpected thing, here's the big thing, is that I can decide right here and now that I'm going to pack up my camp and I'm going to go to California for a month.
Yeah.
And I can do that tomorrow.
Yes.
I don't owe anybody any explanations. I don't have to give anybody notice.
Yeah.
I can pack up and go wherever I want, whenever I want. I never do that. But there's this thing that knowing that I can gives me
the freedom, right?
The freedom gives me a sense of inner peace.
Yeah, it does. It's very relaxing.
because before we left, I was very stressed out. But as soon as we got here, I was like, huh, you know.
There's no leases,
No big
long-term
mortgages.
agreements,
Yeah.
you know.
That's great. That's really good. I know you just did a video about this, but now Dottie's the big focus here. Everybody loves Dottie. How did you get Dottie? You could tell a quick story. I know you, and George. You have a cat, George.
You know, Dottie, my second dog was a Springer Spaniel named Sadie, and when she died, I take it really hard when I lose my pets.
Yes,
And I
me
get
too.
a new one pretty quickly.
Yes.
Usually. So within a week, I was at a PetSmart where they had rescue dogs.
Oh, okay.
And
Yes.
when I walked through the parking lot, there was someone sitting out on the sidewalk, one of the volunteers, with Dottie, apart from all the other dogs. And I was curious, and I sat down and said, hey, what's going on? How come this dog's out here? Well, she's afraid, and there's too much activity.
Yeah.
And as I'm talking, Dottie climbs over and climbs into my lap like a dog does.
Yeah.
Except that
she sensed it.
the volunteer goes, oh my gosh, she's never done anything like that before. So it'd make a great story to say I knew in that moment, but I didn't.
You did.
I didn't. I went inside and I wanted to look at other dogs, but she had in the meantime brought Dottie back, and I kept looking back at Dottie, and then
there's no way. I have to take her. Yeah, that's great.
To take her. So that's how
she sense. Dogs sense when people are, they can pick that up. Like, so of course, the Haunted Campers is about. We try to travel to places that are haunted. Besides doing RV tips, which is all new to me. We like to learn about hauntings, and I understand you have a haunting story that you can tell us.
Actually, I have two real quick ones. One is not my story, but one is my story.
Okay.
The first one is I spend summers in Eagle Nest, New Mexico. It's at 9,000 feet. It's just south of Colorado.
Okay. It's
a beautiful little mountain town on a lake. And there's a restaurant tavern there that is from before the turn of the century. And there is a story about a young woman who got married, and she and her husband were staying there at there were rooms for rent there. They were on their honeymoon, and he went out on a hunt and never came back. And she stayed there for years. I think it was actually a brothel for a while, and she worked there.
Oh, wow.
I think as a lady of the evening.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And after she passed away, there started to be sightings of her in her wedding dress in the hotel, and I did a video on it. I talked to people that work in the restaurant and the people that manage it, and they have all sorts of stories about things falling off the wall and doors slamming. And
what was the name of the hotel? Did you say it? I'm sorry.
I'm
wondering if it was any of that. Other people have done ghost hunts there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, okay. Because I know Ghost Adventure does
hotels. It's in Eagle Nest, New Mexico, and it won't take long to find out.
Yeah, I could probably Google it too. Yeah.
And the other
That's
one
amazing.
was about a year and a half ago. I went to Tombstone, Arizona.
Oh, okay, sure.
And the only building there that is really original is the it's the oh boy, I can't think of it. Is it a
theater?
Yeah.
Yes.
Bird's Eye or something theater.
Okay, I think I've heard of that. Yeah.
It's not Bird's Eye, but people will know what it is.
Yeah.
But there's a tour that you can pay and take through it. There's all sorts of artifacts, multi-levels.
Okay.
And I went and I did a video, and to my surprise, I was the only customer there. I was walking through, and no one else was around. And I started at the top, and I worked my way down to the bottom. And in the basement was the bottom level was like the poker room that was roped off, where famous people that you would have heard of played. And as I walked down there was a guy down there, and he was leaning against the rail looking at the poker table. And I didn't pay much attention to him at all.
Okay.
But I walked by him, I got him on film, and I'm looking at the poker table, and I turned around, and he was gone. And I'm
Oh
like,
my
well, he must be in the gift shop.
Oh my God.
And so I went into the gift shop. He wasn't there. And I asked her, did somebody just come through here? And she goes, no. I don't know what you're talking about. And I went and looked at the film, and he was wearing a black cowboy hat.
Wait, you got it on film?
Yeah.
Oh, you got to show me.
And
did you do a video on this?
Yeah, no one was impressed with it. And
Oh well, you got to send me the link.
he had a one of those big Western mustaches.
Yes.
Mustaches. And I was thinking, I put it out there on Reddit, and I said, look at this footage. And people tell me, is this just some guy, or did I just see a ghost? And most people said, oh, you're full of it.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, if that's true, that it doesn't come often.
Right.
You know, a recorded, spirit. That's good. You got to show me that.
Yeah, I'll show you
yeah.
afterwards. I'll find it on.
Yeah, that's really interesting. So that's good. We have some haunting stories. We're looking here, possibly in Quartzsite. There's a story of the red ghost who haunts the terrain. So we're going to do some research on that and try to do a ghost hunt. But so what? I'm a new YouTuber. Other YouTubers out there that start, what's the best advice? Because I notice it's very, very hard to get followers on YouTube. I have more luck on Instagram, but like what's the best? I mean, I've watched your videos, but what do you think is the best advice? I mean, I'm not out to be monetized, but I would like to have followers, and you know what I mean? Like, I love making content.
Well,
that's my job. You know what I mean? That's what I do too.
There's literally thousands of YouTube videos on answering that question.
Yeah.
And so all I can tell you is what I do. And I'm not a big channel. I've got less than 8,000 subscribers. I get maybe 100,000 views a month.
That's more than me.
But it's small, but it's more than adequate for me. I'm pretty satisfied.
Sure.
And I don't do much editing. I don't do intros, and I don't plan. I don't have scripts.
You're more authentic.
And I just, if it interests me, I'll go and take people. People like watching me grocery shop. I mean, it's pretty much.
I keep hearing that laundry, grocery shopping, doing the everyday things that people do.
And the one thing that I don't do is I don't go someplace to shoot a video.
Yeah, no, you go there and just
And I used to, but I don't anymore. It's like if I have an interest in something, that comes first, and I follow it with the video. I'll take a video if it's something that I'm interested in.
Yeah, that's like me. Like, I'm a creative, so I love museums. I said, oh, we got to hit them. We try not to do something every day because it gets expensive, you know? So, but the museum was free today. We went to the Tyson Wells Museum over there on Main Street, I think.
And, well, it's right next to Silly Pizza.
Yes. Yeah, we went there 2 nights ago. But the museum was amazing. Like, they had stuff from the 1800s. Which should have been in cases. Like, it was right there in front of you, you know? It should have been like, so I really enjoyed that. We'll have that video up in a couple days.
Right. People respond to authenticity and enthusiasm.
Yeah.
So if you're authentic, if you're being real with people, and you're excited about what you're doing, you'll get people watching you.
Yeah, that's true.
And
that's true.
I'm monetized. I make a little bit of extra money.
Yeah.
It certainly pays for my camera equipment and all the things like that.
Yeah, you like your gadgets. So I was watching your video that you actually got really started blowing up when there was a unfortunate accident. Yeah, I know. But I never seen that one. You have to send me that one too. I mean, not that I want to see.
All that was I was on my way out to New Mexico on the 10th.
New Mexico, okay.
And we were stopped in traffic for like an hour for an accident. And I used to be a paramedic, and I saw something that I knew what it meant. A care flight helicopter came to the scene, did one orbit, and then left, which means one or two things.
Yeah.
It was a false alarm or the person died.
Yes.
And it's
exactly.
more likely that there was a fatality.
Yeah.
And as they opened the traffic, I could see from a distance, wow, that looks like an RV accident. So I just recorded on my phone. And it was about a minute and a half. And it was a head-on collision between a Class A RV and an 18-wheeler. And the Class A RV was obliterated down to the frame.
That's what every RV, like I get so nervous when we first
down
started.
to the frame and the wheels and everything. It was just a debris field.
Oh my gosh.
And
that's
I
horrible.
said, should I publish this? And I kind of found out sort of through the fire department there, what happened was there was they were in the opposite lane and they had a blowout on a steering tire, and they didn't know how to handle it, and they came across. And there are ways to handle it, so I did the video as a cautionary thing.
Yeah.
And I got another channel that's an expert on
a
driving.
steering tire is on the RV.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I agreed. The other channel agreed. Can I link your stuff so people can see? And they said yes.
Oh, that's good. That's good because then you give people information how they.
So hopefully, my idea was to do it to prevent accidents.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I always worry about that. I'm always looking in the rearview mirror.
It was a sad thing, and I did not expect it to be a big deal, but it was over 1 million views.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. But it is scary. Like when we broke down. Well, we didn't break down, but we had problems with our DEF on our Ram truck. I was like, oh gosh, But thankfully, people came, and we were in New Mexico actually when it happened. So people came. The guy drove like 3 hours to help us. So there are nice people out there.
Well, and I got a lot of subscribers after that, and most of them went away because they thought they were subscribing to a channel that does content like that.
Yes.
And they found out quickly my content is nothing like that. Nothing like that. I've never done another accident or anything remotely like that. It was
I had an accident. It was a drive-by, but nothing like that. It was just like a rig had drove in the middle of the median and ditch. But it's pretty strange what people are attracted to. I know they like animals. They love animals. They love pretty girls. They love like you said, action or things like that. That are popular. But the RV culture is amazing. The more I get into it, and you know what I mean, and listen to different people's. Oh, there's your cat. Listen to people's stories.
Hey, George.
Hi, George. But it's a different culture. Like I'm from New Jersey, by the Jersey Shore. I'm Central Jersey, and I love New Jersey. But I would always see videos of this, but to actually be here is different than watching videos.
My family, before I was born, I have older brothers and sisters. They were in Ridgewood and Maplewood, New Jersey.
Oh, okay. Yes, I had a friend up in Maplewood a while ago. I used to work at L'Oreal, but we were in Central. Then we moved down to Jackson, but now I went back home. So I'm a Jersey girl. We'll be back after we're done traveling, but I don't know. I'm ready to stay in here, stay in my RV. I love it. Park it anywhere, go.
Well, you've got a real nice fifth wheel, lots of room.
Yes, that's what I needed. I needed that room.
Yeah. Well, and you're a couple. Like for me, if I were a couple, this little tiny RV behind us here, it's only 21 feet.
Okay.
It would not work with a couple.
Yeah.
It would not work.
No. Yeah. He has his space. You see him. He's out there all the time. He loves his outside, and I like the outside, but I get cold. At night. It gets cold here at night. But I'm an early bird. I get up 4 o'clock in the morning.
The other coincidence with your husband was that I had upgraded my generator, and I had a little Honda that I wanted to sell, but I was procrastinating for months selling it. And I had decided what I wanted. I wanted to sell it at a good price, $500. They go for $1,000 new, and I knew as soon as I put it out there, it would be snapped up.
Yes.
But there was part of me that wanted to give it to somebody that I knew.
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't
always a
wanna
good
give it-
feeling.
I didn't want to give. I wasn't excited about giving a deal to a stranger. And then he came over and introduced himself, and we got chatting. And he said something like, "Do you know where I could buy a generator in town?" I said, "You can buy a generator right here."
Oh, someone's telling me I gotta sell to this poor guy, right? Yeah.
And I think what he did is he went back.
Yes,
and
we
he,
did.
and he looked it up and goes, $500 looks like a pretty deal.
Well, we went out to look for one at the RV show. You know,
Yeah.
that's one of our main things for coming here is the big show. And we just couldn't find anything. And I'm like, well, let's just buy his. Like, we're right here. He's right here. You know, so yeah, I think it was meant to be.
I can tell you that I've looked, and there's no place you can buy a Honda generator for that price.
We went to Parker.
$700 maybe for a
Yeah.
used one is about the best you can usually do.
We had to go to Parker, the Walmart and stuff, and there were little places there, but none of them had any of them. So we did look around, and I'm like, just ask him if, you know. And it worked out perfect. He loves it. So now we just have to get a couple more things. Like there's always something you have to buy when you start off.
Of course,
you know, the
of course
generator
there is, yeah.
and the water thing and whatever the poopy thing you got to drag and all that.
Yeah.
But he's good. He's been researching for 4 years. He wanted us to do this 4 years ago. I wasn't ready, you know.
Right.
So he's been on the internet, watching people, researching it, you know. 4 years ago, I was like, no way, that, you know. But then I was like, you know, it doesn't sound too bad, you know. And I recently, when I started it, I had a Chihuahua, Rocco.
Mhm.
He just passed away December 6th.
That's rough.
Yes. So I was devastated. I wasn't going anywhere, and it was right around Christmas. But you know, a couple of my YouTube are with Rocco in it, you know.
Right.
But now it's like I look at it and I don't feel as bad. But everybody got to meet Rocco. But yeah, I know losing a pet is like horrible.
It's tough.
Yes. But okay, so we're gonna close out here. What's your best advice for travelers?
Well, you just gave the best advice.
Oh,
is
okay.
researching and taking your time and making sure
Yes.
this life is for you, because it's not for everybody.
Yes.
It's not for everybody. Not having any ties and me being all excited about I can go anywhere at any time isn't necessarily a positive thing for everybody. Some people like commitments and stability,
yeah.
and I'm going to be here. I have a lease, you know, that kind of thing.
No, that's true.
And I want to be able to go down in the basement or up in the bedroom and have my alone time.
Yes.
And that goes,
Alone time.
That goes away.
Yes.
That goes
That's
away.
great. All right. Well, I want to thank you.
You're welcome.
And we're going to do a cute little photo shoot with Dottie. I'm actually trying to do a little photo shoot with a couple campers because I am a photographer. So we're going to do a little photo shoot with Dottie, right? Because she's so cute. But I want to thank you for tuning in, and you can find his YouTube page at Travels with Dottie.
Yeah, Dottie, right, Dottie?
Dottie, yes, on YouTube, and subscribe, comment, and like. And also, Fashion Haunts Magazine is on YouTube, Instagram. My YouTube page, which is new, is called At the Haunted Campers. And thank you guys for tuning in. Bye.